There's nothing more inspiring than hearing real people overcome real challenges to get the results they want, especially when those are the same results you'd like to see in your own life. And that's why in this bonus episode, we are going deep with another incredible success story. Welcome to the Feel Better, Live Free podcast brought to you by Thinlicious. I'm your host, Ruth Sukup, and here we'll talk about everything from the science of weight loss to practical tips for making your health a priority in the midst of a busy life. It's a little bit nerdy, a little bit funny, and a little bit revolutionary. So buckle up, friend, because it's about to get real. Hey there, and welcome back to the Feel Better, Live Free podcast. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ruth Sukup, and I am the founder of Thinlicious and the creator of the Thin Adapted System, as well as the New York Times bestselling author of 7 books. And in this special bonus episode, we are taking another deep dive into what transforming your life through adopting the Thinlicious lifestyle actually looks like by sitting down to chat with another one of our amazing clients, Jenny Empson. Jenny joined our program in March of this year after her doctor finally gave her the go-ahead. And in just 6 months, she has not only lost more than 50 pounds, she has skyrocketed her energy and found a whole new level of happiness that she's never felt before. But as always, it is always so much better to hear her talk about it in her own words. So here's what she had to say. Jenny, thank you so much for being here today. I'm so excited to talk to you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this is awesome. So why don't we just start with hearing a little bit about you? Tell me about yourself, who you are, where you live, all the things.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Jenny. I live in Indiana. I'm single. I run a nonprofit accounting firm and work from home most of the time.
Awesome. Gotta love working from home. I do love it. Especially the days I get to stay in my pajamas. Those are the best days.
They really are.
So let's talk a little bit about your Thinlicious story and kind of hear, like, go back to the beginning. Tell us how did you start? How did you get started with this? What made you want to get started with this?
Yeah, sure. So I have struggled with my weight for all of my life. It's always been something that I've struggled with and felt a lot of shame and just, felt sad about constantly. Um, I heard about Thinlicious before, and I was like, oh, I just don't know, if that's good for me. And I realized I had to work through a lot of stuff last year about self-worth, investing in myself, and really, taking care of me. And so when I looked at it in the beginning of March and just decided that, if I wanted to make a change, if I want to be healthy, happy, and have, the life that I want, then I need to invest in myself and find something that's going to work long term. And that's something that I found with Thinlicious. And I just loved reading about all the great women that have been part of the program and just everything they've been doing.
We have such an amazing community.
Mm-hmm.
It really, truly is. Like, it just is so uplifting. And I love everything that you said. Like, there's so many pieces of that, because I think number one, like, committing to a different kind of life, I think, is so key. And that's something that we're just so passionate about. Like, this is not a diet. We are not a fad diet like that. If that's what you want, then this is the wrong program for you, because we want to help you change your life. And it's not even just your health, right? Like, it just changes your whole life, your whole perspective, your whole outlook, your whole mindset. And I think that's so huge too. And then realizing that you have to, like, that if you want to take it seriously, like, if you want to mentally take something seriously to the point where you can make a change, it only happens when you, like, basically put your money where your mouth is, of like, yes, I'm committing to myself by paying for this thing to do this thing. And it's so funny, because I've had friends and stuff that will, like, be like, oh, can I just, like, have your program? And I used to be like, so, like, of course, like, sign up, right? I'm not trying to make money off my friends, but they don't do it, right? No, you don't
Yes.
do it unless you're invested. Like now I'm like, I would love to have you in my program, but you got to pay for it because I know that's how you'll take it seriously. So
Yeah.
I just
You
love how
have
you
to
like made
then.
that shift. So what has that looked like for you? So you signed up in March of this year of
Yeah.
20,
So
twenty
I
twenty four.
Yes, in 2024. I started losing weight in January. I did this program. I started a couple years ago seeing a holistic doctor who has just absolutely helped me figure out I was just like racked with inflammation. And I talked to her a couple years ago, like, I really want to lose weight, all this stuff. And she was like, girl, no, like you can't. Your body is so inflamed and just overwhelmed. Like you couldn't if you tried. Like you may lose some, but it's not going to be anything. And so when I went and saw her in January, she was like, girl, you are ready. Let's do this.
I
And
love
so yeah, it was really great. I did this program with her and it was really helpful, but it wasn't a lifestyle switch. It kind of helped reset my body, which I think it's funny because I think that, God just made it so possible that to allow me to be in this program that was very similar to the 28-day metabolic reset that you do, that challenge.
Mhm. Yep.
It was so similar. It was so funny when I found your program again in March because I was like, I'm ready to just start at this point. Um, so I had lost maybe like 30 pounds in that 3 month period, but gained some of it back, and I was just kind of moping about it. But
Yeah.
then, as soon as I started the program, I could not wait to watch the videos. I couldn't wait to like learn about all of the training and stuff. I think that's the thing that I love so much about this program is there's so much good info. And I am very much a data person. I need it to like make decisions and see what I should be doing. And so it was the best option out there. Um, just so much data to understand like, oh, this is why my body reacts like this, and this is why I feel bad when I eat this or that, and it was just so cool to learn about all of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Like knowledge is power. I believe that so firmly. Like it just changes you like slowly because as you like learn this and absorb this, you might still sometimes make bad choices. I still make bad choices, but I also like for the most part don't because I just know now too much. I have too much
Mm-hmm.
information about what this is actually doing to my body. And so I crave the good stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy how that works. So the videos, the lessons are so good with Dr.
Yes.
Edie, and I just love them. Do you watch them like over and over again, or are you more like
Yeah.
I just one time?
I watched them and I took copious notes, which was really helpful. And
Yeah.
then when the platform got upgraded, I'm going back through again and just
Okay.
kind of processing it again. I feel like when I travel, and I've been traveling the last September and October have been insane for me. I think I've been home like 2 weeks out of those 8.
Oh
Um,
wow.
so it's just been insane, but I've still been able to like, okay, I'm making better choices than I would have a year ago. And I'm
Mhm.
still staying on the plan when I'm home. I'm being smart when I travel, just trying to live life because I just don't want to not anymore.
Right. Yeah. I love that. That's like you have to live your life. Like there, it
Mhm.
doesn't stop just because you decide that you're going to get healthy. So if you can't find a way to make this work for you long term, for through all the ups and downs, through crazy schedules, through whatever is going on, then it's
Mhm.
never going to be sustainable. So that's so cool. So what has that looked like for you? Like since March, what has your experience been?
Yeah, so I lost a little bit before in March, gained some of it back. Since March, I've lost, I think I'm at like 55 pounds.
Wow, that's
So,
amazing.
yeah,
That must feel so good. And
it
how has
does.
that like impacted your health?
It's so crazy. Just little things like that I couldn't do before that I can do now. Like I have so much energy, just so much that my sister, we like go and pick up her kids together when I visit, and I'm just like dancing in the parking lot like waiting for them or like playing around with them. Like it's just made it so much more fun, so much less tiring for me. Like I have so much just I'm raring to go every day, just have fun and all that jazz. I think it's also helped with my outlook on life. I just feel more positive. I feel happier. I feel like, you know, things are just more hopeful and more positive every day.
Wow, that's amazing. Do other people, like your sister and your niece and nephews, notice the difference in you?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. My mom tells me all the time, she's like, you just look so different. Well, thank you. I hope so. I still have more to
Yeah.
go and more to work on, but I think my mom has told me a number of times, like, your whole person is different, that I'm just lighter than I was before, and not,
Yeah.
just uh,
Not
aura
just
wise or
physically,
whatever.
like
Yeah.
emotionally. Yeah,
Yes.
that's amazing. And it's true. Like, well, number one, like just physiologically, your serotonin is all produced in your gut. So as your body is getting healthier, as you're reducing inflammation and your gut is improving, then like it will actually legit make you happier.
Yes.
But like the energy and then the mindset piece of all
Hmm.
of that, of just that is it's so huge.
Yeah.
Have you noticed, like, has that made a difference, like in your work and in the other things that you're doing in life?
I would say the biggest issue I had is I am single, so I'm dating. And so I would worry and kind of be like, okay, how is this going to affect, like, if I meet someone now and then I change, how's that going to affect things? Or, are they going to have a lot of questions because I look different? Like, all the silly things that get caught up in your brain. And I feel it's been really nice just to, like, the one I dated a guy briefly earlier this year, and I shared it with him, and he was really excited, like, oh wow, that's something we could do together, and we can, just he enjoyed the things I made for him because I cooked like Thinlicious recipes because I was like, I'm not eating sugar just because you're eating sugar at this
Yeah.
point. So it was really great, and I think it's just shown that that is possible, and you can, it doesn't affect that part of life.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. What has like been kind of the thing that has made this easy for you to stick to, or like what kind of like tips and tricks can you share? Especially I think as a single person, right? Because in our program, a lot of our recipes, probably because I'm a mom, right? So I'm cooking for family all the time. And I was like, I'm not cooking separate meals. But when you're single, you don't have that problem. You have the opposite problem of like, this recipe is for four people and I'm just
Yeah.
one. So how have you handled that?
Yeah, every meal is a separate meal. I do a lot of batch cooking now. Like, I find a recipe that I like. I don't like to eat the same thing every day. I am not that person that
Really?
can have chicken for lunch every single day.
Yeah.
Um, so I usually pick like two or three things and then make those for lunch. I also embraced um, the fasting.
The
Uh,
intermittent
you know,
fasting.
yeah. So I
Mm.
usually eat like a meal a day and I'll have some snacks maybe within my time period. But yeah, I would say I make like three things that will give me leftovers, and then I have meals that are ready and packaged to go that I can just warm them up, because that was my biggest downfall. It's like, well, I don't want to cook every single day. Like, I had a rough day
Yeah.
at work, I had something going on, or all those things that I would have to figure that out. Um, so yeah, I just started kind of batch cooking and setting myself up well so that I have cheese cubes cut up ahead of time. So I have a snack and I'm not going to try and find something else.
Yeah.
I've got meals ready. I've got, drinks that I like, all those things just to be kind of preemptive.
Yeah. Do you have like a certain day where you do that, like meal planning day, or you just kind of take it as it comes?
I feel like I don't like to be in, set parameters. And so
Mhm.
I will be like, okay, it's Monday and I'm hungry and I want to cook today. So I'll
Yeah.
cook on Monday. And then I've got meals for a couple days. I love to cook and I love to
Yeah.
mix things up too. So I don't have like a set day, but I do like to, like, okay, I had lasagna for 2 days. I just made the low carb lasagna with like the chicken slices.
Oh, the big giant dish.
Yeah.
That
I'm
will
so
that'll last you
excited.
like a month. It freezes
Yeah.
well.
Oh yeah. And so my dad recently started going low carb too, to
Yeah.
help with his health as well. And so I text them and I'm like, I'll bring you some lasagna. So enjoy.
He will enjoy that. My husband loves that recipe. He gets so
Oh,
excited
so
when I make
good.
it. Yeah. It's really good. And you can't even tell that there's no noodles in it. Like
No, not at
it
all.
is crazy. I have made that for parties and stuff, and nobody even knows the difference are just like, oh my gosh, this is so good. I know it's one of my favorites for sure.
It's too good to care at that point.
Yeah, it that really truly is like you start eating, you're like, man, this is so good. Like, what am
Mhm.
I, where, like, what have I been thinking all this time? You're
Yeah,
funny.
so true.
You sound like a lot like my husband. Like, he hates parameters, right?
Yeah.
He's so like, I just want to do what I want to do on the days that I want to do them. And I'm so the opposite. I'm just like, I have to have my schedule and I have to have my things and so and I
Yeah.
like, but I love that. Like that's why I love having these conversations because it just shows that you can make it work for you in any
Mhm.
situation and like any way that you want. Like there's just so much flexibility and things there.
Yeah, that's what I loved about it is I didn't do well. Like I don't do well with following the meal plans, but I like printed off all the recipes and grabbed all the ones that I like, and it was like, okay, I like these things. I can mix these up as long as I have the ingredients for it. That's kind of how I do my grocery shopping anyway, is I'll buy all the ingredients so I have it for the week and I can make it when I want to.
Oh yeah.
Um, but that's what I did with the early days is like, okay, I have a plan. It's not set in stone, but I have one that I can function when well.
Yeah. I love that. So what was the hardest for you?
The I would say the hardest part for me was the glucose and ketone testing. I was like
Ah,
terrified of having to like prick my finger. It was so dumb. And I did the ketone like urine tests for the first like 30, 60 days, but then it was like I want good data. Like I want to
yeah.
know how I'm doing.
Yeah.
Um, so I would say that was hard for me. Um, I had already done like that reset for about 2 months. So I kind of was like primed to go into it that I wasn't having as many sugar cravings. I had stopped drinking pop on January 1st.
Oh wow.
It wasn't even intentional on January 1st, it just happened that way.
Yeah.
Um, so I had been off pop for a while and I have been since too, which is shocking. But it was kind of like I kind of just fell right into it somehow. It just worked out perfectly for me.
So it just was like a natural progression with all the work that you were doing with the doctor and stuff.
Yeah.
So have you seen an impact? Like, were you on medication before? Have you been able to get off of medication? Have you seen, do you get your blood tested? Like anything like that?
Yeah, I feel like I take a lot of supplements more than anything, and my hormones have been off for my like I had a cancer scare when in 2016 when I was 26 that they thought I had endometrial cancer and they put me on birth control and it just messed my entire system up. I was
Mm.
in bed for about 6 months. I was in bed, I would say 20 to 25 days out of the month. Just like I don't know where to go. I'm completely depressed. I'm in pain. Like it was the
Yeah.
worst.
Oh, that's
Um,
awful.
yeah, and so seeing the holistic doctor and just changing the way that I eat, they had me go grain free and then down to gluten free, and then slowly reintroducing some stuff. But with Thinlicious, it just lined up perfectly with what I needed, and I just the all the stuff about insulin resistance is so true. And since then, like my whole body has felt so much less inflammation. I feel better. My cycle isn't terrible anymore. I'm not in
Mm.
pain every month. Like it's been fantastic.
That's amazing. And it sounds like it's really been like kind of a slow progression for you if you were already cutting out gluten and you were already making some of the changes like that it was just like, oh, this is just like the final piece. So
Yeah.
what were the pieces that you felt like you were missing that really that getting into TAS really helped kind of solidify it for you or change for you?
I think I was having random allergic reactions to foods like
Oh,
raspberries or
yeah.
oranges. And my body was just like, nope, not today. And so getting into Thinlicious, it was like it reset my body that like I've been able to reintroduce some foods and reintroduce different things without having issues
Mm.
because it did give me that reset um, and just really helped me feel better every day.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably. And probably as you're healing your gut as well, would probably
Yes.
help a lot with the food sensitivities. That's amazing.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So, what would you tell somebody if you were to say, like somebody's like listening right now, they're like, oh, yeah, like it sounds good, but then you talk about blood testing and now I'm freaked out of that and I don't want to do that. Like, what would you say to somebody who's like, can I actually do this?
Oh goodness.
Especially after struggling for so long.
Stop waiting. Like, I feel like we all spend so much time waiting for life to happen or waiting for things to occur and just magically suddenly come out of the clouds. And I think, yes, that sometimes happens, but you know, no one is going to take better care of you than you are. And you have to make yourself a priority and you know, invest in yourself. And you can't keep waiting for, oh, well, I'll wait until I feel better and then I'll do it. Or, oh, I'll wait until after so and so's birthday so I can eat cake. Like, stop. Just jump in imperfectly and go for it because if you keep waiting and you keep holding yourself back, you're going to be exactly where you were 2, 3, 4 years ago. And you're still going to be sad, but you're just going to be, further wrong. Like, instead, take that time and embrace it.
Yeah, I love that. That is such good advice. Is there anything that you feel like when you look back at kind of where you were and the struggles that you had that you go, man, I just like I wish that I could like go back and give that girl that gift. Does that make sense? Like what
Yeah.
were the parts of life that you felt like you missed out on now that you and maybe you didn't even realize at the time you were missing out on, but now that you feel better, you see it.
Yeah. Oh my word. I was like, I was a much larger woman and, I'm still working on losing weight, but I feel like I was so fearful of letting someone see how hard something was for me, or, oh, I'm not even going to try because I doubt that I could. Like those things, I let myself overthink and hold myself back in every possible way. And now it's so funny because my dog passed away a couple of years ago and we didn't go on walks all the time, but we would some. He was a lot older and he did not like to go. But I just recently like I've been thinking about I want to get a dog and I want to do these things. Well, I decided to just do it. My sister's very impulsive and it's wonderful. And so while I was staying with her, I got a dog. And it's been like, okay, we go for walks every single day. Like we have so much fun together. If I would have waited, like I wouldn't have been able to start doing this. I wouldn't have been able to enjoy this time. It would have just been, me figuring stuff out. And so, yeah, I would say I would go back and be like, stop being so scared that something's going to happen. Like, you are going to fall down one day. You are going to stub your toe. You're going to be embarrassed. It's a part of life. So move on.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Oh, so good. And dogs are the best. They will get you out and about and doing all the things. My dog, I always laugh. Like people are always like, how can you be so consistent about going for a walk every day? I'm like, my dogs will literally paw at me every morning until we go. Like there's no
Yeah,
choice. This is
we're
what we do.
going.
This is what we do. Any final pieces of advice? Any final thoughts that you want to share before we wrap up?
Um, I don't think so. I would say embrace the website and the embrace the trainings for sure, but really like dig into those recipes. I feel like I was scared of like I don't want to try mashed cauliflower because it's not going to be good, blah blah blah. But no, I tried it. It was wonderful. I love mashed potatoes and I love this cauliflower. Like there's so many good recipes that's like sometimes I want something crunchy or sometimes I want something. And, it's all about balance. So there are some times when you want to go for it, but there are other times you can try a great substitution and it is the best. Like just try it and experiment with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love that too. Like it really just comes back to mindset. If you are in the
Mhm.
mindset where you're telling yourself, like, this is the only thing that I want and nothing else is going to even be good, then of course you're
Mhm.
always going to be disappointed. But if you're like, okay, I'll try it. And then you surprise yourself with, wow, I can't believe I like, that's how I feel every day. Like, I can't believe I
Yeah.
get to eat like this
Mhm.
and still like reach my health goals or lose weight or all the things that I want for myself. Like it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's so great. I try to experiment with some stuff too. Like there was like a hot fudge sauce recipe online and I put it in my fridge or something and it like froze up. And I'm obsessed with hot chocolate, and so I started using that as like a hot chocolate substitute. And so it's like
Oh,
it's sugar free, it's within, the diet. I can track how much. It's just been wonderful. But it's like a
oh, that's
little
amazing.
victory for me because I used to have
Yeah.
that, at night to help me go to sleep and just kind of calm
Yeah.
down.
Oh, I love that. Oh, well, Jenny, I'm so excited for you and all the progress that you've made, and just so thrilled to be able to meet you and talk to you. And I like it's just amazing. Uh, like it's such a gift to me to be able to just hear your story and hear what this is like, the changes that are this is making in your life, and to just see that happen like in real time. It's really really cool and really inspiring. So I just appreciate you being brave and coming on and talking to me. And thank you. And keep it up. Like I want
So
updates. I want to know how things are going. I want to know how the dating
yeah.
life is going. We'll have our first Thinlicious wedding. We've had Thinlicious babies, but we haven't had a Thinlicious wedding yet. So
That's awesome. I have a date this Wednesday, so I'm excited.
oh, okay. Well, keep us posted. And thank you so much, Jenny.
All right, thank you.
Wasn't Jenny's story inspiring? Everyone's experience in our program is just a little bit different. And I love hearing all the different stories because you kind of just get such a great picture of what this program is really about. But Jenny is absolutely right. Don't wait. Don't wait. The worst thing you could do is wait. Life is too short not to feel your best. And friends, that brings me to the end of this bonus episode, but I will be back with another new episode very soon.